Barnaby Jones, starring Buddy Ebsen. Also starring Lee Merriweather, with guest stars George Maharis, Albert Salmi, James Luisi, special guest star Madeline Rue. Tonight's episode, The Deadly Prize.
What do you want?
Anything to declare?
Nope.
What's this?
Coffee.
Coffee it is. Have a nice day ashore, Mr. Hollister.
Come on, Bert's got it. Let's get out of here. Relax, will you? We know where to find him.
Come on, Bert's leaving. Let's go.
Relax, what's a rush?
That was awful. There should have been another way.
We didn't have any choice. Hollister made the first move when he tried to deal behind our backs.
Still, it doesn't seem right. We were friends.
Yeah, that's right. We were friends until he tried to steal the $600,000 for himself. Don't worry about it. You know, we ought to be thankful to Bert. He found a way to do it quickly.
Bert, I'm sorry we're late. I tried to get Vince to keep up, but... Oh, my God.
He's dead.
It's not here. The thermos is not here, Vince.
Did you talk to anybody, Warren?
What are you talking about?
Only 4 of us knew about it. 2 are dead. I didn't talk to anybody.
Well, it wasn't me. I swear it. I swear it.
You didn't talk to anybody? You didn't make a deal with anybody?
Not me. Maybe Bert let something slip, or Hollister, for that matter.
All right. But somebody knows about it.
Yeah, but who?
We'll figure that out later. First, we gotta get rid of Bert's body.
No, wait a minute. Not me.
You want to start answering a lot of questions when they find the body? He's getting heavy. Get him in.
You know, they gotta find him. Sooner or later, they gotta find him.
Not necessarily. All this junk will be halfway to Japan before they even think of looking for him.
Now all we have to do is find that thermos.
That thing makes more noise than a tomcat caught in a barbed wire fence.
I guess you get used to it. 28 years on the docks, you get used to a lot of things.
Yeah, I guess you do. You ever see an accident like the one that killed Hollister before?
Cable brake failure? It happens, not often.
But you can't duplicate it.
Well, that doesn't prove anything. You know, when they inspected that brake, they found that it wasn't even worn. Just goes to show you can't trust machinery.
Or people. You sure there was nobody else around the rig?
I told the police that I was at least 100 yards away when that load fell. Me and the gang steward was having a little set-to about how fast I was moving the cargo. If you don't believe me, ask that punk steward.
Well, Mr. Fountain, I was hired by California Meridian Insurance to investigate the accident, to determine the extent of their liability. Now, Roy Hollister has an uncle in Cleveland who stands to collect a bundle.
It's like a lot of those insurance companies. They try to wriggle out from under it.
And you feel it was an accident?
Oh, yeah, it couldn't be anything else. After I got back to the cab, the brake lever was just the way I left it.
How long was that?
Well, it was after the ambulances had left. Police were still there, of course, and the steward.
I understand. You don't think of those things at a time like that.
You know how I got it figured? It was Providence, Mr. Jones. That feller's time was just up. Providence.
Well, my problem is to find out whether Providence had a helping hand.
Boy.
good old boy, yes, sir.
Help you?
Well, I hope so. Nice dog you got here.
Barnaby's one of the finest drug inspectors in the service.
Barnaby? Interesting name for a dog. Highly intelligent-looking animal.
I didn't catch your name.
Jones. I'm checking out the accident for California Meridian Insurance.
Oh, yeah, Hollister.
You know him?
Well, only from his passport. I saw his utility bag, name on most of his clothing.
He seemed very observant.
Well, this is part of our job. You'd be amazed what some people try to slip past us.
Hollister give you trouble?
No, his bag contained only the ordinary items.
Like what, for instance?
Well, let's see, a change of clothing, a thermos, razor blades, the normal toilet articles, that's all. Okay?
Fine. Did you notice what happened to the bag after the accident? It seems they've gotten lost.
No, in the excitement, I'm afraid I didn't.
You mentioned the thermos. Was anything in it?
Coffee?
That's what the customs fellow said Hollister had in his thermos.
Yeah, well, diesel fuel aboard this tub tastes a lot better.
You didn't build it up too much. A little thicker, this could pass for axle grease.
Yeah, it's a fitting cause for mutiny.
Makes you wonder why Hollister would have taken a thermos over to shore. What kind of a fellow was he?
He was a good worker. He's a heavy equipment operator overseas before he quit and signed up with us for the trip home. Tried to get him to stay aboard.
But he didn't.
Hollister was a man with plans.
What kind of plans?
Well, he never did say, but I have a feeling they were big. You know, when you've been to sea as long as myself, you get to be able to read a man. Ever since he came aboard...
Where was that?
Cambodia. Why?
Just wondering. Mr. Murphy, that bag that the customs agent mentioned, it didn't show up in Hollister's effects. You suppose it could have been brought back aboard and got misplaced somewhere?
We checked everything. Well, there's this work locker. Maybe somebody stuffed it back in there.
Can we take a look?
Sure, come on.
There it is. Now, let's see.
Nothing. Not a sign of a bag.
Here's something.
Funny, they don't fit.
On the contrary, this may be the only thing about the case that does fit.
Oh, hi. Wonder when you were coming back. Did you decide to do your Christmas shopping early?
I picked up a few things.
Well, California Meridian called. They're anxious to see a report on the Hollister case.
So am I. So am I.
Listen, What's all this about?
Coffee.
Coffee?
Or what Roy Hollister would have wanted people to believe was coffee. Betty, if I guessed right, you can call California Meridian Insurance and tell them to hold up payment on the claim for that accident, because it may have been murder and not an accident at all.
All because of coffee?
All because of something of value that was supposed to be coffee. Now, would you get me the water? And watch carefully, because I once saw a man in a circus make an elephant disappear this way. Right now, the water. Now, for all intents and purposes, what do we have?
A thermos of water. Oh, coffee. That's clever. What made you think of it?
Well, I found some pieces like this in Hollister's personal effects. The customs officer said that Hollister was carrying a thermos just like this when he was killed.
And the thermos hasn't turned up.
Right.
So the accident begins to smell not so accidental. What was he smuggling, drugs?
No, I don't think so, because the customs dog would have probably sniffed him out, and he didn't. There was room in here to conceal something of value.
If you're right, Hollister's death becomes convenient and profitable to someone.
Betty, I'd like to see the dossier that California Meridian sent over on Hollister. And I want the name of the firm that Hollister worked for overseas.
Well, that's Westland Engineering, and their home office is in Orange County. How's that for efficiency?
Better be careful of that, Betty. You leave yourself with nothing to do for the rest of the day.
Hello, Myra.
Hi, Vince.
Well, aren't you going to ask me in?
Oh, well,
Come on, open up. I'm sorry to bother you. I wouldn't have come, except it's important. What's the matter, Myra? Something wrong?
No. No, I'm just a little extra nervous lately. I'm worried about Bert. I haven't seen or heard from him, have you?
As a matter of fact, that's part of the reason for my coming. I have some stuff that I borrowed from Bert, and when I tried to return it, I found that he had moved.
Hold on, Vince. Hold on, Vince. Just hold it, Vince. Just hold it. What are you doing here?
Put that gun away. Think, Warren. I mean, would I be here now if I knew where the Buddha was?
Warren, put the gun away. Please. Okay, you guys. Let's tell me what's going on.
Well, the thing is, we need some information. Did Bert ever mention any close friends? I mean, other than Warren and myself.
You know, Bert, everyone's his friend.
No, he means somebody else other than the three of us. Somebody that Bert might have trusted. I mean, somebody he met recently. Did he mention any names?
I don't know. I can't think of any. Why ask me? Why don't you ask Bert? You can ask Bert, can't you? Something has happened to him, hasn't it?
Well, you see, we were on this job together, and it was kind of dangerous.
Tell him, Warren. Bert knew what he was getting himself into.
Okay. Let's tell me. Where is he? What's happened to him?
Bert's dead.
What?
We had nothing to do with it.
I don't believe you. How could that have happened?
Well, he was murdered.
He was shot. We don't know who did it. I mean, I guess that's why we're here. We figured he may have said something. Mentioned somebody. Give us a line on who did it.
Where is he now?
Well, we had to get rid of the body.
What do you mean you had to get rid of the body?
A salvage yard. By now he's on a scrap boat halfway to Japan. There's nothing else we could have done, Myra.
Oh, no, no! Get out!
I want to tell you.
Get out of here! Come on, leave me alone! Just get out! Just get out! Get out! Get out!
Roy Hollister? Roy was what I call a perspiration engineer. As good a man with heavy equipment as I ever saw. Could teach it, too.
That why they sent him to Cambodia?
Yeah. But then he volunteered for all the hot spots. Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, you name it.
Seems to me to be rough enough just getting a day's work done without gorillas popping out at you all the time.
You can say that again. But then Roy was a cool head at times like that. You know, he was something of a hero.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, there's a clipping of it. I'm right inside the door of my trailer. Help yourself.
Thanks. Sangidar. Sounds familiar.
Well, you probably read about it in the papers. It's an Asian temple.
Says here they were trapped in there for 3 days.
They might still be there if Roy hadn't sneaked through guerrilla lines to get help.
These other men, they're still with the company?
Well, Davis is. He's our field supervisor. And Bucola handles the heavy stuff like Roy. He's still around. I don't know about Logan. He's freelance. Haven't seen anything of him since they closed down the Asian project.
You have any idea why Hollister didn't fly back home with the rest of them? Seems to me working your way back on a freighter is a long way home.
You got me. Maybe Davis and Bucola could tell you.
You know where I can find him?
Well, Bucola generally hangs out around the maintenance shack. Davis is another matter. He's all over the place in that truck of his.
Much obliged. Would you mind if I keep this picture? I'll get it back to you in a couple of days after I get a copy made.
Sure. Oh, looks like you're in luck. There's Davis now.
Mr. Davis?
Sir.
I'm Barnaby Jones, investigating the death of Roy Hollister for California Meridian Insurance.
Oh, yes, that was awful. It was funny, though. I mean, after all he'd been through to go out that way.
I just got a few questions I'd like to clear up.
Like what?
Well, I was hoping you might be able to tell me why Mr. Hollister chose not to fly home with the rest of you. Why he signed on that ship.
Afraid you're asking the wrong man. Actually, Roy and I weren't that close.
Oh? I assume from this picture you were.
Look, we just worked together. I don't know why he did things. Still, I'm sorry about what happened to him.
Yeah, I imagine you would be, especially since it saved your life.
Roy knew I was grateful. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Well, I'm not sure. Since you and Roy weren't that friendly, you probably wouldn't know anything about the thermos that he went ashore with.
Thermos? What thermos?
The one that's missing.
I'm afraid I can't help you.
Well, you've already helped quite a bit. Oh, do you happen to know where I can find Bert Logan?
We haven't kept in touch since we got back.
What about Mr. Bucola? He still works at the firm?
Yes, he does. He's not here this afternoon. His son got to him. He went home early.
Would you have that address?
Yeah. He's at the Wellborn Apartments on Collins near Park.
Thanks again, Mr. Davis.
Yeah.
Mr. Bucola? Mr. Bucola?
The coroner ruled Vincent Bucola's death an accident. He died approximately 1 hour before you arrived there.
No fun being right when you know you're wrong.
You don't agree that it was an accident?
Couldn't prove it was anything else.
But you don't believe it. Why?
Too convenient. I could have sworn I was just starting to get somewhere.
That Davis. Well, he was covering himself up, that was for sure.
What do you think? He killed Bucola?
No, time-wise, too close. Just too close.
What else?
Too many accidents on this case.
Barnaby, that's no evidence.
What about the shower curtain?
What about it?
It was outside the tub. Everybody knows that when you take a shower, you put the curtain inside the tub when the shower's running.
Well, you can't sway a jury with that.
No, I guess not. You got anything on Logan?
Well, nothing definite yet. He left his apartment about 2 days ago. Left no forwarding address, but I did get the name of his girlfriend, Myra Staley. That's her address.
I better talk to her. I just thought of somebody that might be able to help us. Chick Forrester in the State Department, security office. Call him. Tell him I'd like to see him.
He'll want to know whether it's fishing or business.
Tell him it's business, but I'll be doing a little fishing.
Chick Forrester, please.
Go away.
Miss Staley? Miss Staley, can I talk to you?
Okay. Yeah, what do you want?
My name's Barnaby Jones. I'd like to talk to you a minute.
Look, I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't feel so good. I just don't want to talk to...
Just take it easy. Just sit right down here.
Thank you.
Just sip this. When did you eat last?
I don't remember.
Well, if you're planning to break any records, you gotta eat. Or that stuff will break you. Here, finish it.
Who are you and what do you want?
I'm a private detective trying to find Bert Logan.
Oh.
Now just sit back and relax.
Look what I look like.
That's good. When a lady starts worrying about how she looks, that means she's feeling better.
You're very nice. Why do you want to find Bert?
I think he's in trouble. Serious trouble. And from the sound of your voice when you mentioned his name a moment ago, I think the same thought may have occurred to you.
I haven't seen Bert for a long time. You assume quite a lot, Mr. Jones.
Not when I can get the truth. The truth isn't always in people's words. It's in a woman's eye. The way she tenses up when she hears a certain name. Or the ache in her voice when she says it. I'd say that Bert Logan meant a lot to you, Miss Staley. I want to help. Unless I miss my guess, his life's in danger.
No. He isn't in any danger. He's dead. He was murdered.
You know that for certain?
Ward Davis and Vince Bucola were here yesterday. They told me.
Did he also tell you who killed him?
No. They were looking for something. Something that killer had taken, I suppose.
And he thought you might know who had it. I hate to ask you this, but did they happen to say what happened to the body?
There is no body.
I don't understand.
They said something about salvage. Scrapboat.
Sorry, mister. Truly sorry.
Barnaby, how are you?
Chick, just coming up to see you.
My girl said that Betty called. What can I do for you?
You still in the East Asian Bureau?
Sure. You want to claim political asylum in Tahiti or something?
Not yet. This is information. Sangidang Temple. Ever hear of it?
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard of it. Tell me, is it important?
Could be. What's the matter? Security?
No, it's just embarrassing, Barnaby. One of those small catastrophes that seem to be plaguing us wherever we go these days.
Like what?
The monks at the temple have been screaming bloody murder ever since we pulled our economic mission out of there.
Let me guess. They just discovered there was something of great value missing.
Now, how do you know that? You're right. It's a small item called the Sun Ming Buddha.
Sun Ming Buddha. Can you give me a description?
I can do better than that. I'll put you in touch with an expert. And if you can locate the Buddha, I'll buy you the finest steak in Los Angeles.
Sounds important.
It's a matter of saving face, Barnaby. It's just one of a series of things. The monks claim that we looted a sacred object. If we can prove them wrong, it'll be a big help to us.
What's the Buddha worth?
Small fortune, but even more than money.
Not to some people.
Hi, Mr. Johns.
Hi, I'm looking for Davis.
Well, you'll find him just under the bridge.
Thanks.
Welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Davis.
Oh, Jones, isn't it?
That's very kind of you to remember. You got a minute? I got a couple more questions.
I've told you everything I know.
Funny, Myra Staley thought you might have a lot more to say.
Myra Staley's a drunk.
She said you told her that Bert Logan was murdered and you helped dispose of the body.
She can say anything she likes. I had nothing to do with that.
What about Mr. Bucola? You're a fool if you sent me over there knowing he was dead.
Why would I? Besides, they said it was an accident.
Like Hollister was an accident? I suppose you didn't know anything about that either.
You're guessing, aren't you, Mr. Jones?
Am I?
And not very good either. Look, if you don't mind, I've got some work to do.
What if I told you I know about the Sun Ming Buddha?
The sun what? Look, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
And you better check your insurance. It's a bad case of dying going around in your circle of friends.
Johns. You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Where's Davis? I was just talking to him.
Hasn't come down. He must still be up there.
Davis! This is Mr. Jones! Davis is here. I understand the Sun Ming Buddha is 1,400 years old.
Can't be dated exactly. Could easily be even older.
One solid emerald. Very impressive carving.
An antiquarian like yourself can well appreciate the workmanship. With a precious stone riding at the outcome, the artisan's head was in jeopardy also.
How much would something like this be worth?
Properly cut, the intrinsic value of this emerald is approximately 300,000. But as an object of art, well over $1 million.
That's the way they'll move it.
Well, how can you be so sure?
A freshly cut emerald leaves hardly any trail in the gem market. But whoever has the Buddha has already gone to a lot of trouble to cover up his tracks. That means they're going for the big money. They're going to try to sell it in one piece.
Very shrewd. Mr. Forrester said that you had hopes of recovering the Buddha.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
That is right. I knew when it was taken. I even knew how it was smuggled into the country. The only thing I didn't count on is that somebody wanted it bad enough to leave 3 bodies in his wake.
I thought there were 4 murders.
Only 3 bodies. Count them. Hollister, Davis, Piccola.
Oh, what about Logan?
In his case, there was no body. All we have is Myra Staley's word, and she got her information secondhand.
Bert? Oh.
Shh. It's all over now. It's all over.
Why didn't you tell me?
I had to make believe I was really dead, honey. You couldn't have faked it through by yourself. We both know that.
Vince and Warren, they made it seem real.
It was real. For Warren.
I don't understand.
Vince was in on it. He helped me make it look as though I'd really been shot. Don't you understand, Myra? If we could convince Davis that the Buddha was really gone, we only split 2 ways.
Vince is dead.
I know. Now we don't have to split it all.
Sometimes you frighten me.
Honey, here it is. Look at that. It's all ours. Now all we have to do is find the man and pick up the money. $600,000. A new life for both of us.
No, Andy, I don't think so.
Go ahead, take it. It's a present. Just don't drop it.
Hi, Andy. Nice of you to come see me.
Jones, before you start, I'm in costume stuff now, strictly legitimate. 4 years and 5 months behind bars convinced me.
Seems to me you told me the same thing a few years ago when you were handling more hot jewelry than Sir Francis Drake.
Yeah? Only this time it's true. Ask Betty. See? Looks like $1 million sells for $1.
Excuse me.
Andy, I need information. This is very big. Emerald Buddha. Worth more than $1 million.
Buddha? What do I know about Buddhas? I told you. I'm out of the hot jewelry racket.
Andy, they have killed 3 people, maybe 4.
Yeah? That could give the business a bad name.
The way I figure, there are only 3 men in the whole world who can fence anything this big and this hot without cutting it first. Ranger in New York, Callinger in Lebanon, Hoffman in Holland. Coberly could handle it, but he's in Quentin.
Honest, Barnaby, they don't tell me anything anymore.
Andy, you owe me.
okay. Maybe Granger's taking a deal.
From New York?
Try the Carlisle Apartments. He just got into town a couple days ago.
Exquisite. There's absolutely no doubt of its authenticity. My buyer will be very pleased. Fine. Now, if you don't mind, I'll take the money. I have a plane to catch. Oh, of course. It's all there. 600,000. You know, we could have closed the deal 2 days ago if you hadn't insisted on small bills. Hello. It's for you. Hello? Hold it. All right, nice and easy now. The gun over your shoulder.
How'd you know I was going to pay you a call?
I got a friend downstairs.
But the only one you got left is Myra. I got a friend downstairs, too. The manager.
That's fine. Inside. Sit down. Who is he? Take it easy. He's not a cop. He's just a private detective. This was not part of the deal. What's going on? I'll handle it.
Yeah, it's like the wolf handled the sheep. I'm afraid you bought more than you bargained for, Mr. Granger. Logan here just sold you a piece of 3 murders.
Is that true? I said I'll handle it. Now you take the Buddha and get out of here. I'll take care of Jones. Oh, sorry. We had a deal, but it did not include murder.
You see, Logan, a man in Mr. Granger's line of work has ethics. Thieving is one thing, murder is another.
Just leave the money right where it is. Now, look, I told you the deal is off. I said you take the Buddha or nothing. I'm a businessman, not a fool. And you get nothing. Nothing!
Don't try it. Now hand it over, nice and easy.
Bert, is everything all right?
Thank you, Myra, for joining the party. Saved a lot of time rounding everyone up. Operator, get me the police. Sergeant, I'm going to need another copy of this report for California Meridian Insurance. Proving it was a murder is going to save them a bundle.
Barnaby, they said you wanted to see me.
Seems to me, I remember you're saying something about buying me a steak.
You recovered the boat.
Of course, you're going to have to sign a lot of papers. But you government fellas are used to that.
And when I do, the State Department will be happy to buy you a whole steer.
A whole steer?
Look, I don't want to throw the country into an economic crisis. I'll settle for a couple of steaks.
You got a deal. Barnaby Jones, starring Buddy Ebsen, also starring Lee Merriweather, with guest stars Belinda J. Montgomery, Christopher Stone, Dabney Coleman, Patricia Smith, Peggy McKay. Tonight's episode, Blind Terror.
That was perfect. You know that? Say, you know what Mark Spitz is doing right now? He's eating his heart out. Okay, here you go. It's never the babies who are scared, only their mothers. Hope I haven't kept you, Mr. Jones.
Not at all, Miss Benedict. Lovely girl, your daughter. Of course, you realize that the way things are today, the police have their hands full. Must be a lot of worried parents looking for missing daughters. Michelle is over 18, isn't she?
21. Mr. Jones, I'm somewhat of an authority on parents who panic, and I'm not one of them.
When is the last time you heard from Michelle?
Friday.
Well, there's only Tuesday. She usually call in over the weekend?
Yes. I phoned her apartment. I've checked with her friends. She didn't show up for work over the weekend, and she didn't go to school yesterday or today.
She live alone?
No. Poor Amy. It's her roommate. She had a terrible fall down the stairs, and she's in the hospital right now.
Did you try to contact Amy about Michelle?
The last time she saw Michelle was Friday morning in their French class. Now, all of this is just not like Michelle.
Boyfriend?
Oh, so many, I lose track. Number one right now is Eric... somebody. Mr. Jones, I'm really worried half to death.
Miss Benedict, when I was learning how to swim, I used to worry something fierce about how deep the water was underneath me, how far it was to the bottom. But you and I know that that's nothing to worry about, as long as you keep swimming.
You're a very persuasive man, Mr. Jones. I just hope and pray you're right. Oh, I'm sorry. You'll have to excuse me again. Okay, Jim. Practice another dive. Come on. Hey, put your hands up there. That's it. All right. Easy. Okay, go easy. That's the boy. Just go.
So the last time you saw Michelle was Friday morning at your French class.
That's right. And that's the only class we have together on Fridays.
But you came home that night expecting to find her in the apartment you shared.
Yes. For all I know, she was there.
Didn't you go inside the apartment?
No. I remember scrounging around in my purse for my door key as I was going up the stairs. When I got to this top step, I found it. And then I must have tripped or something.
That's the last you remember?
I'm afraid so. In fact, now I've lost my door key. In the fall, I guess.
Michelle was dating a young man named Eric.
Uh-huh. Eric Rome. Eric trains animals for TV commercials. He rents this old place from my uncle out in Saugus.
I'd like to talk to Eric.
Michelle has his number in her address book. She keeps it in a drawer under the television.
You won't mind my going through your apartment, Amy?
No. Mrs. Selby or her son Argus will let you in. They manage the building.
I guess you two can meet properly now. This is Amy Partridge, Mr. Jones.
Thank you. Amy, would you say that this was a good likeness of Michelle?
I guess nobody told you, huh?
I'm sorry.
It's a real crack-up. Me blind. I can't really believe it yet myself.
Hi, I'm Barnaby Jones. I called...
About the key.
Yeah.
I got it right here.
Here, I'll show you the apartment.
Left your door open.
For the phone. Mother's going shopping.
Mr. Selby,
Oh, Argus, please. It's a name I'm very proud of. It means the watchful guardian.
From Argus. The guardian with 100 eyes. In mythology. Greek, wasn't he?
You're right. The guardian with 100 eyes. You're the first person I ever met that knew that.
Well, I had a friend who sold sunglasses during the Depression. He used to have this dream. He kept dreaming that Argus was his steady customer. Argus, you didn't happen to find any of Amy Partridge's keys, did you?
Well, a lot of things spilled out of her purse, and I replaced them. And the purse went to hospital with Amy. There's no keys, though.
How long did they live here?
Almost a year.
Fine-looking girls.
Well, I think Michelle was, I don't know, she's too flashy. You know, it's terrible about Amy being blind. Wonder why it always happens to good ones.
You liked Amy?
Well, we never went out or anything.
Michelle?
No, I never asked her. I mean, guys stand in line to take her out. Lots of guys. Maybe that's where Michelle is now.
Argus? Did the girls bring in anybody to do the cleaning?
No, they did it all themselves. They really kept the place spotless. They vacuum it twice a day.
It's funny, they vacuum right past his shoelace.
It's not mine. I only wear slip-ons. You know, loafers. You know, there was never even a dirty dish in the sink. I really have to say as much for Michelle. You know, I've been thinking about going visit Amy in the hospital. That's our phone. You make yourself at home.
Find anything?
His shoelace was broken. It was new.
Well, guess who was nosing around the girl's apartment?
Michelle's boyfriend, Eric.
That's right. A car fitting your description, complete with the number 47, belongs to an Eric Rome. Information courtesy of the Apollo Car Club. He races on weekends in the amateur division.
Amy said this Eric trains animals for TV commercials.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he lives with his furry friends out in Saugus. Michelle's boyfriend. Small world.
That's because you don't have to drive all the way out to Saugus. You know, that doesn't surprise me half as much as finding Amy's keys inside the apartment.
You said she never even unlocked the door.
Yeah, she was pretty definite about that. I wonder why.
What do you want?
I'm looking for Eric Rome.
What for?
I don't think we were properly introduced the last time. In fact, I'm looking for Michelle Benedict.
What last time?
Can we talk about Michelle?
Okay.
Eric's Ark. Should be a Mrs. Eric, you know, 2 for every species.
There isn't. Thought you wanted to talk about Michelle.
Why did you run away from Michelle's apartment?
Because I'm a runner.
Not a talker, I understand. If a talker had been compromised the way you were, he would have lied himself past me.
That other guy spoke to you like you were a cop. I don't dig cops.
I'm a private investigator, and you don't have to dig me, Mr. Rome. Just tell me whether the book helped you.
What book?
Michelle's address book.
I never saw it.
Eric, I have reason to believe that Michelle is in serious trouble.
Look, I got 28 animals I gotta feed. I don't have time to talk.
Eric, you did go back and break into the apartment to tidy up.
I was just trying to find Michelle.
When's the last time you saw her?
Thursday night. Listen, if I knew anything, I'd tell you. See, these last few weeks, well, we really hit it off.
Including Thursday night?
Especially Thursday night. No sign of her now for 5 days. I thought she might be out with some other guy whose number'd be in that book. Started calling the M's.
Why don't you get the book and leave that to me?
Look, she's my girl. I'm gonna handle this my way.
You took that address book. Let's see, that's breaking and entering, possession of stolen property, possible interference with a criminal investigation.
Okay. Okay. Okay, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, come on, come on. Get down here.
Thanks. I'm glad I didn't have to go hunting for it.
There's nothing stranger than someone else's kitchen. Oh, I bet those roses could use some water.
Still a watchful guardian, Argus?
Oh, Amy's back. I was just gonna knock. I was gonna see if I could be of any help.
Sounds like a good idea.
Okay, huh?
Argus? Oh, Mr. Jones, come in. How are you?
Argus, the flowers are from you, aren't they?
I hope you like them. I guess you got the key I had made for you.
You're very thoughtful.
Well, I just want to welcome you home.
Thank you.
Strange young man.
Could we offer you anything, Mr. Jones?
Oh, no, thank you.
Any word yet on Michelle, Mr. Jones?
Well, I'm afraid not, Amy, but I think I found something that you lost.
My door keys. Where on earth did you find them?
Amy, are you sure that you didn't open your door that night, step inside, and then remembering something you left in your car, stepped out again, and then you took your phone?
I'm positive. How could I forget something like that?
You or Michelle have a pair of old brown shoes with laces. It's hard to tell these days, but I would say men's shoelaces.
No? Why?
I found one in here, and it's kind of like finding a billiard table in the honeymoon suite. You gotta wonder what it's doing there.
Maybe Argus. He let himself in with the roses.
Well, I've got to get back to work, and I've got that appointment with the vet. We've got a very sick Doberman on our hands.
Go ahead, dear. We'll be all right.
All right. Amy, I just want you to know that you're going to have the best of care. The finest specialists, whatever it takes.
I know that. Thank you.
Bye-bye, honey.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Mr. Jones.
Now, don't worry about us. I'll call you later at the office.
Good.
Amy, this lamp on the end table, how'd it get broken?
It isn't. I mean, that lamp's brand new, Mr. Jones.
Well, there's a piece broken out of the base here. Were you going to glue that back in?
If that lamp's been damaged, I just don't know how that happened.
Mr. Jones, what are you inferring?
Well, it's just possible that things went on in here that we don't know anything about yet.
Barnaby's told me how you teach those little ones to swim. That must be very rewarding work. I'm sorry you have to wait here so long. Let me see how he's doing.
The stain on this piece of lamp is blood, all right. AB negative, the rarest.
Well, that rules out Amy. She's type O.
What about Michelle?
Barnaby, Mrs. Benedict is so despondent already. I was afraid if I asked her, she'd...
Well, we gotta know. The sooner the better.
I was kind of hoping you'd handle it.
Well, did you find anything? I'm sorry. I'm getting very anxious.
Oh, nothing conclusive, Mrs. Benedict. Well, I meant to ask you, does Michelle have any scars, any identifying marks?
That's an ominous question.
Oh, this is just for our office file.
Oh, well, yes, there is a scar. Michelle had a serious operation a few years ago.
Oh, what was the nature of the operation?
She was in an accident. She suffered a ruptured spleen. I was very worried about her. It was really touch and go for a while.
I suppose there was a lot of internal bleeding. Did she have many transfusions?
Yes, that's what made it so serious. Her blood type is very rare, AB negative.
Eric? Eric, is Barnaby Jones? Eric? Eric? Eric?
Okay, baby. Okay. Now you see why I don't lock my door. He gets loose once in a while. Anything I can do for you?
I'll let you know. Perfect match. Take a look for yourself. See how the threads fit together?
This means the shoelace that you found in Eric's shack.
Matches the one that I found in Michelle and Amy's apartment.
Well, you can add to that what I came in to tell you. Lieutenant Hager returned your call. Eric Rome does have a record. 2 counts of assault.
That makes him a pretty good suspect.
Yes, and he knows that, too. That's probably why he set the cat on you.
Betty, that number in Michelle's address book that didn't have a name attached.
Oh, yes. Valley Vista Motel.
was that young lady last registered here?
Devious, Mr. Jones, the way you worded that question. The inference is that I have seen her. And now you want to know when and how often.
Neat the way you avoided the question, Mr. Strather.
You're more than just a concerned parent.
Private investigator.
We're a motel in a very romantic setting, Mr. Jones. In my business, we have professional ethics.
And in mine. We know how to honor a confidence. Now, I could plant myself in your lobby or down there at the pool and whip out this photograph and start asking all sorts of questions.
All right, all right. I've noticed her. I mean, what man wouldn't? Stunning girl.
Who was she with?
No one. She was alone.
You sure?
We always notice a stunner like that when she registers alone, Mr. Jones.
Well, couldn't somebody have come up and joined her in her room later?
It's possible. Mr. Jones, some of our guests use great discretion. This is a community of thousands of familiar faces, and it's quite possible that some companion came to a room while she was here and left before she checked out. I have no idea who the gentleman was.
Excuse me. Hello, Eric. What are you doing here?
I've got as much right here as you do, Jones, so lay off, huh?
I'd like to, but how do I know that anonymous visitor in Michelle's room here wasn't you?
I came here for the same reason you did. I told you. I got through calling the M's in her book. I found this number in there.
I found something, too. I found the other piece of this shoelace in a pair of your shoes in your closet.
Well, so what does that prove?
Could prove that you were in the girl's apartment the night Michelle disappeared.
Forget it, Jones. I don't even own a pair of laces that color.
And how'd they get in your shoes?
But somebody must have planted them there. My door's always open. You know, you wandered in, didn't you?
Expect me to believe that?
Nobody's ever called me a liar, old man.
It's always the first time for everything, Sonny.
Amy, don't you have any curry powder either?
Not unless it comes frozen.
It's your favorite dish and you don't have half the ingredients? Oh, I should have brought more groceries when I had your Uncle Paul here to carry them for me. Well, listen, it won't take me 10 minutes to run down to that little market on the corner. You won't mind being alone for just a few minutes, Amy, will you?
Might as well start getting used to it.
Amy?
Besides, I need some cream rinse. I'll be shampooing while you're gone, okay?
Well, I don't think you can drown in the bathroom sink. I'll be right back.
Forget something, Aunt Helen? Who is it? Who's there? Who are you? What do you want? I know someone's here. Michelle? Is it you? Answer me. Who is it? Please. Please speak to me.
Amy? Barnaby Jones, unlock the door. Open it up or I'll break it in.
What's the matter?
Someone was just here, I know it. Aunt Ellen went to the market.
You wait here. It's all right, Amy. He's gone now.
What's to keep him from coming back?
Amy. Just now you saw something, didn't you?
No. Of course not. How could I see anything?
I heard Amy call. I came to see if I could help. What happened?
It was exactly as though she saw the pistol. I mean, actually saw it. Doctor, does that mean anything?
A gun usually symbolizes jeopardy. Mr. Jones, you may have found the last piece of the puzzle. Does the term hysterical blindness mean anything to you?
No, but I once ran across a case of hysterical paralysis. I had a client confined to a wheelchair, a parade specialist. Could find nothing wrong with him. And one day the wheelchair broke. He started to roll down a driveway toward a busy street.
And his power to walk suddenly returned to him.
That's right. The traffic represented jeopardy.
Just as your gun did to Amy. For one instant, self-preservation overrode her need to be blind. That must be it, Mr. Jones. And it explains why we haven't been able to find any physical damage that would account for her blindness.
The way I figure, she saw something that frightened her so she blocked out the memory of what she saw, along with the sight that had enabled her to see it.
Exactly. And you think this relates in some way to her missing roommate?
That's what I'm afraid of. It would explain, for one thing, why I found Amy's keys inside the apartment. I figure Amy unlocked the door, stepped inside, saw something, backed away, and took her fall.
She may well have been blind before she fell.
It also explains the blood on the lamp, the broken light bulb, and the hurried attempt to make it look as if nothing had happened in that room.
So you think she saw Michelle and some kind of assailant?
I think that Amy saw something terrible happen to Michelle. You had it up, Betty. There was a struggle in the apartment. Amy walked in on it. The intruder saw her. She saw him.
And he has to make sure that she never gets a chance to identify him.
If I'm right, he knows she's an eyewitness to whatever he did to Michelle.
Why is he risking coming back when he knows the eyewitness is blind and has blocked out all memory of what happened?
Because he knows that when Amy hears the truth, she will see and she will remember.
Is it that simple?
No. No, it isn't. Because Amy doesn't want to hear the truth. And she will fight to keep from hearing it.
She'd rather be blind than remember the awful thing that happened to Michelle.
Exactly.
Barnaby, I forgot. The information you wanted on Argus Selby. He spent 1970 and 1971 in a San Diego mental hospital. He was committed by his mother after an attempted assault on a young woman.
Wow. Isn't this interesting?
From what you've told me of Argus, he hardly seems the type to have clandestine meetings in the Valley Vista Motel.
Why not? Eric has his place out in Saugus. Argus can hardly entertain at home because he lives there with his mother.
Well, then it's a good thing her aunt insisted that Amy move out to the beach house. At least those two women aren't alone in that apartment. If you hadn't scared off that prowler...
You know, Betty, Amy has all the answers. It's my job
to find the right question.
I've got a week on location with 8 of my animals. It goes Monday. I'll be able to pay you all the back rent 2 weeks after that.
At which time you'll be another month overdue.
2 or 3 lousy weeks is all I'm asking.
Now look, I'll give you 3 more weeks to come up with it, and that is it.
Who's following who today, Joan?
Eric, I want you to stay around a while.
Sure, why not?
Mr. Jones, I told you exactly what happened the night I fell.
I know that, Amy. I wonder if you understand why I'm asking all these questions.
To a point. But you seem to think that I know more about what happened to Michelle than I'm telling.
It's just possible, Amy, that you know more than you realize.
You're not making any sense.
Amy, listen to me. If it sounds like I don't believe you, or that I'm trying to trick you, please trust me when I say that my only interest is in finding Michelle or in helping you. Will you believe that?
All right.
Now, how did you and Michelle get along?
Great. Oh, she's a lot more aggressive and outgoing than I am, but I admire that in her, and...
No big arguments.
Mr. Jones, this is taking a rather bizarre turn.
I'm trying to establish that Amy was very fond of Michelle. Now, let's go back to the night of your accident. You told me that you had the key to your apartment in your hand.
Yes.
I think that you opened the door.
I told you I didn't.
You stepped inside.
No, I was never inside.
And you heard something that sounded like a struggle.
There wasn't. I didn't go inside.
You were scared. Matter of fact, you were terrified.
That isn't the way it happened.
You screamed. You dropped the key where I found it.
Oh, please stop it.
And then you turned and ran.
Make him stop, please. It's all lies. Please stop.
Mr. Jones, you're going much too far.
My wife is right, you know. I think Amy's into another.
Play kind of rough, don't you, Jones?
Could we go into another room, please? Amy's reaction to my questions confirms what the doctor has already told you folks, that her blindness is hysterical. I keep trying to bring the truth into focus, and she just won't face it.
It seems to me you're exploiting our niece to solve your case.
Now, it does come off that way, Jones.
Maybe a certain amount of truth in that, but I'd like to leave here with my case solved, but what's more important, with Amy's sight restored.
It all sounds very far-fetched.
Your niece is in jeopardy. Whoever it was hiding in her apartment isn't going to call off his plans just because you moved her out here.
There's someone out there.
Argus Selby. Were you expecting him?
Heavens, no. Oh, now he has the dogs upset and one of them's sick.
Now, I'll take a look at the dogs.
I'll go see what Argus is up to. You come with me, Eric. Lose your way, Argus?
Mr. Jones? No, I just thought I'd visit Amy.
It's just me, honey.
Oh. You startled me. I didn't hear you come in.
Where's your aunt?
Making some tea?
Now, this has been pretty difficult for you, hasn't it, Pigeon?
I just don't know what Mr. Jones wants me to say.
Well, maybe we'll just call it quits on him.
Can we?
Now, when was I ever able to say no to you?
You're the greatest uncle in the world.
Say, you know, what does it for me when I've been through the ringer?
What?
A nice, long walk.
Sounds like a wonderful idea.
Miss Cleveland, you know where Amy is?
Well, no, I don't. I left her right here.
I better take a look outside.
Uncle Paul, Mr. Jones said that the doctor had a long talk with you and Aunt Ellen.
Yes. It helped us to understand what's happened to you. It's called hysterical blindness.
Tell me about it.
It's really kind of complicated.
Please.
Well, the one thing I keep remembering is how your blindness may have been caused by the sight of someone very near and dear to you doing something that shocked you, something that shattered your image in that person.
That would be Michelle, according to the questions Mr. Jones keeps asking me.
That's right. Michelle was very dear to you.
I wish you wouldn't keep saying was.
Can you hear me? Look where you are. You can see it. Turn and look. You saw the drop, didn't you, Amy? Just as you saw the pistol when I put it back in my holster. Your uncle led you to the edge, didn't he?
I don't know what you mean.
Did you know how close you were?
No, Uncle Paul?
You saw what happened to Michelle.
No, that's not true.
You unlocked your apartment door, you let yourself in, you dropped the key.
Stop it! I didn't. That's not the way it happened. Oh, please make him stop.
You saw Michelle. You saw a struggle. The apartment was in a shambles. You saw a man there, Michelle's killer. You saw him, Amy, just as you're seeing him now.
It was you. It was you.
You tried to make it look as if Eric did it. You even planted the shoelaces on him.
Amy, she was going to stop seeing me because of that kid. She'd fallen in love with him. I couldn't let her go. She threatened to tell your aunt.
You killed Michelle. You murdered
Does it hurt?
Amy! Cleveland!
Where did you bury Michelle?
In the woods.
Take him to my car and stay with him.
Let's go home now, Amy.